Hey, Beck, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks,
Um,
Mary.
you have already done your intro, so you are our video ninja, and I'm grateful that you are here. So, we generally talk for about 10 minutes and we smash out what we can give to our audience in that time. And today I wanted to get you on to talk all things video because you are the video ninja.
I am.
And so I was hoping you could share with the audience, I guess, some tips because I often say to them, we need to be, you need to be showing your face, you need to be getting behind the camera, talking about your business and all of those great things. And I thought, take it away and give some nuggets to the audience.
I love that. I love that you also said you need to get behind the camera. Kind of should be in front of it.
Yeah, true, right? My
I
bad.
love it. The thing with video is like taking the elephant out of the room or talking about the elephant that's in the room. People hate the look of themselves and the sound of their own voice, right? Like if you think back to how often you actually listen to your own podcast back,
I've never.
you don't because you go, oh, is
And
that
when I
how
hear
I
the
sound?
snippets, I'm like, oh,
Right?
shit.
It's like when you record that voicemail and you go, "Hi, this is Becca. Leave a message," and then you record it 10 times over because it didn't sound right. The
Mm.
key thing is to remember here is that you don't like the sound of your own voice, right? You're not programmed to like the sound of your own voice, and quite frankly, that's probably the biggest sticking point is people don't like the way they sound and they don't like the way they look, but they're their own personal hangups, right? There's nothing to do with what people are thinking of them. It's those own personal hangups and those own little voices in the back of their head going, no, someone's going to pick out that my lipstick wasn't right, or my right eye's slightly lower than my left, or I don't quite word that correctly. Take all of that away, and I think my biggest sort of thing, and it sounds very cliche, it's just get started and start practicing. It's like any skill. Video is a muscle, and the more you build it, the stronger it gets. So as a sort of a bit of an exercise, I guess, if you want to go doing a little bit of research down a rabbit hole for half an hour or so, go and look at the YouTube videos of the people that you aspire to be like on camera, and look back at the old videos that they created years and years and years and years and years ago.
Love that.
And I think the thing there, the biggest lesson you're going to learn is everyone has to start somewhere, and you can't compare your day one to someone's year 10, right? Like, so it's that kind of piece of just starting is going to be better than not starting. Do you want me to go technical on how to actually start?
Yeah. Let's do this.
So I think one of the biggest things that I like to preach about is the fact that you don't have to invest in a lot of equipment. We're sat here right now with beautiful podcasting mics and beautiful headphones on because we like to look the part, right? Could equally do an okay job using our Apple AirPods or putting our computer, inside a car, for example, so that it's all like soft around us and we haven't got the bouncing of audio. The same thing can apply to video content. So everyone's got a mobile phone. There's no excuse. You've all got a mobile phone. The easiest things to add to that is a tripod, like a baby handheld tripod. And if she ever actually uses the video, I'll show one because I've got one right here. They're probably $50-$60 in the shops. And that just enables you to have your phone at the right level for your content, right? So all phones right now are equipped with some crazy cameras, 4K cameras. People make movies on phones. So the thought of having to buy a camera, buy equipment is really not necessary anymore. And I think, I can almost see people listening to this cringing going, oh, that was my excuse. I didn't have enough money for the camera, or, you don't need it, So start with your camera, start with your phone and the camera there. Make sure you're recording your content in a horizontal format. So landscape, predominantly for business content, right? Let's take Instagram stories and Facebook stories off the cards for now. The majority of content is consumed on websites from a business perspective and business purposes in a horizontal format. So make sure you hold your phone landscape and make sure you're centered to the screen. So you want a little bit of room above your head. You want to be centered in the center of the screen, and then just start talking. hit record.
That's interesting about the horizontal thing, because obviously so many people are hung up on like getting it right for socials. And I know myself, I've done video in vertical. Is there a way that you can reproduce it if you want to use it across all like platforms?
Yeah, there is completely. The easiest way to do it is to film horizontally at a wider angle so that you can crop in to that vertical format.
Yeah, cool.
But it does, that's a little bit more, I guess, time consuming to be able to have that editing process.
Yeah.
But if you frame it right and test it, I do know that I was just doing it just now, actually. Instagram stories will scale the video for you.
That's good to know.
So as long as you know that I haven't tested it right now in terms of myself as a person and filming it horizontal, but I was able to like pick the section of the video I wanted to show in a vertical format. So the same principle should apply.
Yeah, that's cool. Very helpful.
But I think the thing is, and that's overcomplicating it, right? You can't. Yes, I'm all for multi-purposing content to different spaces completely. But if you start with the intention that you're going to multi-purpose that piece of content into all platforms, you're going to get yourself back into an overwhelm mode and probably not want to start recording at all.
Yeah, I get that, because it feels like you already have so much to do with that one. Yeah, with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you just sit and hit record and away you go, practice. Even if you have to say the same thing over and over again, just to get it right, that's okay. That's your bare bones of stuff. I then obviously, if you come and follow my content online, I talk very highly about the use of teleprompters, making sure you're scripting content so that you can actually always say the same thing over and over and over again, because as humans, we never say the same thing twice, which makes recording a video really hard, if you haven't got it scripted, because chances are you'll do several takes and then realize that the first one was probably great, or you loved the sentence on the second one, but you couldn't remember that exactly. And then you get yourself in this whole spiral of, this isn't working. I can't get this right. This isn't always coming out correctly. Whereas if you take the time to script your content, you're going to say the same stuff over and over again, regardless of how many times you record it.
Do you have a hint or a tip for people that do script their content and then because I know it can be really hard to read off a screen, or it can look like you're reading off a screen, or it can feel scripted. Do you have, because I know the way that I do it, I write 3 dot points about what I want to get across. So yeah, I definitely, I do the 20 takes thing. Well, I don't anymore. I do 1 take, but back in the day I used to do the 20 take thing, and then I tried the full scripting and I got lost in that. So what would be your tip with the scripting?
My absolute love is just the voice memo. So a lot where people fall down with scripts is they write it like it's a bit of written copy. So you then get stuck with the nuances and mannerisms in your voice about trying to read something out loud. Whereas if you've spoken it out loud, had it as a voice memo on your phone or your computer, and then get that voice memo transcribed, you've then got it in the way that you would normally speak.
I love that. That's groundbreaking.
It's cool, right? And you can do that whether you're walking the dog, whether you're cooking dinner, making a cup of tea, like whatever it is, you could just voice memo little bits.
I love a voice memo. I love it. Sometimes I leave myself podcasts sometimes.
Yeah. Good, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
The voice to text doesn't work as well. Maybe I talk too fast, but I try and look back at some of those and go, what was I saying? I can't remember. So a voice memo works a lot better.
Yeah, cool. Love that tip. That's really helpful. Thanks, Becca. That's awesome. So is there anything else you want to leave us with?
Oh, look, I think the thing is as much as we're creating videos for our businesses, right? We can't take it too seriously. If we took it too seriously, we'd never get it done. So I think what we've got to remember as business owners is people are listening and watching us because they want to hear what we've got to say. They're actively tuning in to what you're saying and why you're saying it. So just remember that you are the knowledge expert in your own field, and being a pro on camera does take time. So give yourself some practice time. If you want to take that a little bit further in your, into bulk creating of content, bulk filming content does help a lot because you get yourself into that headspace once and then you can create a lot of content. Whereas if you're trying to do it on the fly, you've got to constantly be psyching yourself into the position of, okay, I'm going to talk on camera now.
Yeah.
If you can bulk film, you're going to go miles, and then you can film a lot of content in one go, right? So you can film once every quarter.
I love batching. I'm a huge fan of batching everything, batch your content creation, batch all of it, because it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
You have given us so many nuggets in this episode. I'm definitely going to get you back.
Thank you. I'll come back. Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of people listening that are scared to get in front of the camera and, show their faces for their business, or they're just really nervous about doing it. And I know that you have got an amazing course that can help with this. I'm going to put all these details in the show notes, but tell us where people can find you.
So people can find me at rebeccasaunders.com. That's where you'll find all of the fun resources and my signature program, the Video Accelerator. As you just alluded to, the program is for business leaders, course creators, and speakers who are just wanting to level up their video game. It's a small monthly fee. I consider it a plugin, right? A business plugin or a mastermind plugin, because all I do is teach you the implementation of video content. So take what you've learned somewhere else, take the business messaging you need to share, and I'll teach you how to implement it in a video format.
Love that. Well, thank you so much for your time again today. And we will definitely be talking again soon. I can feel it.
Until next time. Thanks for having me.